top 5 fishing spots with the most fish. Hey there, fishing fanatics. Happy new day and welcome back to Fishing 24 Hours, your go-to channel for hardcore fishing tips and stories that make every trip legendary. Ever wonder why, on the same stretch of river, some folks sit all day without a bite, while others drop their bait and fish swarm like it's a buffet? The difference isn't luck, it's picking the right spot where fish come to you. Today, we'll uncover the top 5 fishing spots that are fish magnets, from submerged trees to deep pools, so you can haul in a bucket full of fish without breaking a sweat. This story goes back a few years to Toledo Bend Lake, straddling Louisiana and Texas. I figured fish would be out in the open water, so I set up in a clear spot, dropped some night crawlers, and waited. Hours passed. My float didn't budge, not a single bite. Ready to call it quits, I noticed an old angler nearby waving me over. "Come try by those submerged willows, son," he said. "Fish love hanging out there." I moved to the bank near the tree roots, cast close to the edge. And in under 15 minutes, my float dove, a 4-pound carp, thrashed the water. That day, I bagged a few bluegill too, my bucket-heavy eyes glowing with pride. That's when it hit me. Pick the right spot, and you don't need to wait long for big fish. In this video, we'll dive into the top 5 spots: submerged trees, confluences, bridge bases, grassy shallows, and deep pools where fish pile up. I'll explain why fish love these spots, how to pick baits and cast, and tips to avoid mistakes. We've got 2 real-life stories from the US to fire you up, plus practical tips, beginner advice, and safety pointers to make you a master of any fishing hole. These tricks work in ponds, lakes, rivers, and creeks across America, from Toledo Bend to the Mississippi, for species like carp, bluegill, crappie, catfish, and bass. So, grab a cold soda, get comfy, and let's explore the 5 golden spots to catch monster fish. Why does location matter so much? Fish don't swim randomly. They flock to spots with food, shelter, or ideal conditions. Submerged trees, confluences, bridge bases, grassy shallows, and deep pools are like natural diners for fish, where they feed, rest, or hunt. Hit the right spot, and it's like setting a trap in their living room. Wrong, and even the best bet's a waste of time. These 5 spots are old-school secrets I've tested on countless trips each. 1's a fish magnet, if you know how to work it. The first spot is near trees leaning into the water or submerged roots. These are fish buffets. Insects, decaying leaves, and seeds fall into the water, creating a food jackpot. Small fish like bluegill and crappie gather to eat bugs, attracting bigger fish like carp and bass to hunt. Cast close to the roots with night crawlers, bloodworms, or dough bait mixed with fish oil for carp and bluegill. Set your float so the bait sits 2 to 4 inches off the bottom for bottom feeders, or 2 to 4 feet for midwater fish. Use a light 1/16 to 1/8 ounce sinker to keep bait steady. The trick is to cast gently, easing your float to avoid snagging roots. Use a thin 4 to 6 pound test line to stay stealthy. At Toledo Bend, willow or cypress roots in the water are hotspots, especially at dawn or dusk. Watch the water bubbles or fish shadows mean a school's nearby. If your float twitches lightly, wait for a full dip before setting the hook gently. Don't cast too deep into roots to avoid snags and spooking fish. The second spot is confluences or swirling eddies, where to currents meet. Food like insects, minnows, or seeds piles up, like a conveyor belt of snacks. Fish hang out at the seam where the current slows, waiting to eat. Use heavy baits like night crawlers, crawfish meat, or stink bait, dropping them to the bottom for carp and catfish. For crappie, use bloodworms or dough midwater. Use a 1/8 to 1/4 ounce sinker to fight the current. Set your float so the bait's 2 to 4 inches off the bottom for bottom feeders, or 2 to 4 feet for midwater fish. On the Mississippi, where creeks join the main river, fish swarm. Look for swirling water where leaves or bugs collect. That's where fish wait. Cast at the eddy's edge, twitching your rod lightly for ripples. If the float jerks hard, set the hook quick but gentle. Use a sensitive rod and 8-pound line to handle currents. The third spot is bridge bases, docks, or old pilings. These structures offer shelter, attracting algae, snails, and insects fish favorites. Catfish, crappie, and carp love these spots. Drop baits to the bottom with night crawlers, shrimp, or stinky dough for catfish and carp. Set your float so the bait touches the bottom, 2 to 4 inches from the hook. Use a 1/16 to 1/8 ounce sinker to stay put, avoiding snags on rocks. On the Mississippi, old bridge pilings or docks are catfish and carp magnets. Watch for bubbles or fish near pilings, signs they're feeding. Cast gently to avoid noise, as fish here spook easily. If the float twitches, wait for a full dip to set. Use an 8-pound line for bigger fish. Watch for boats or barges, especially at busy docks, to stay safe. The fourth spot is flooded grass or submerged weeds. When water rises, grass and sprouts become food for grass, carp, bluegill, and sunfish. Bigger fish like bass hunt the small fry here. Use green baits like lettuce, corn kernels, or dough mixed with grass for grass carp. Bloodworms or dough midwater for bluegill. Use small number 4 to 6 hooks for plant baits. Set your float so the bait hangs 2 to 4 feet off the bottom or near the bottom for sunfish. At Toledo Bend, flooded grass after rain is a hot spot. Cast near the grass edge, twitching your rod lightly for movement. If the float jerks, set the hook quick but gentle. Use a thin 4-pound line for natural drift. Look for ripples or fish. Shadows fish are feeding. Avoid casting deep into grass to prevent snags and spooking fish. The fifth spot is deep, calm pools. In hot sun, big fish like carp, catfish, and bass dive deep, 6 to 12 feet, for cool, safe water. These are prime spots for trophy fish. Drop baits to the bottom with night crawlers, crawfish, or stink bait. Set your float so the bait touches the bottom, 2 to 4 inches from the hook. Use a 1/8 to 1/4 ounce sinker to sink fast and stay put. Dawn or dusk is ideal when big fish rise to feed. At Toledo Bend, deep pools mid-lake are carp and catfish havens. If the water's still with no fish shadows, they're deep. Cast gently, wait for a full float dip to set. Use a long rod and 8 to 10-pound line for big fish. If no bites, twitch lightly or try stinkier bait. Timing matters. Carp and catfish feed hard at dawn, for 30 to 7 a.m., or dusk, for 30 to 6:30 p.m., in tree roots, bridges, or deep pools. Crappie and bluegill are active midday or after rain, in grassy shallows or confluences. Bays hunt best at twilight or night, near grass or trees. Cloudy days, post-rain, or light breezes are perfect, as fish are less wary and bite eagerly. To boost success, chum lightly before casting. By trees, scatter stink bait or cornmeal for carp. In eddies, toss bloodworms or shrimp for crappie. In grass, sprinkle dough or corn for grass carp. Chum sparingly. Wait 10 to 15 minutes for fish to gather. Watch for bubbles or fish time to cast. This turns your spot into a fish frenzy, upping big catch odds. Here's another story to show the power of picking the right spot. On the Mississippi River, I fished with buddies who spread out along a sandy bank, swearing open waters where the fish are. I chose a grassy shallow with calm water. They laughed. That dead water won't have fish, but in 30 minutes, I landed 3 white bass, each near 2 pounds, solid fighters. They crowded around, shocked. No wonder pick the right spot and fish come to you. That day, I bagged 2 more, crappie, my bucket heavy, pride sky high. To fish these 5 spots like a pro, prep smart. Bring varied baits forms, shrimp, stink bait, greens, lures to match spots. Use a sensitive rod, strong line, and thin float, checking for wear. Watch the water bubbles, ripples, or fish to find schools. Cast at the right depth, bait, and spot. If no bites in 15 minutes, switch spots or depth. By trees, cast near roots. In eddies, hit the seam. At bridges, go deep. In grass, cast mid-water. In deep pools, use heavy sinkers. Safety's critical. Avoid unstable banks, especially post-rain, to prevent slips. At bridges or docks, watch for boats or barges to stay safe. Don't chum too much fish. Get full and skip your bait. In deep water, wear a life jacket, especially near strong currents. Keep noise low. Avoid shadows on the water. Crappie and bass spook easy. A little caution keeps your trip fun and safe. New to fishing, picking spots is a great way to learn. Try grassy shallows for bluegill, with bloodworms mid-water. Or fish carp by submerged trees, dropping worms to the bottom. Note where fish bite like bass in grass. Don't sweat a still float. Switch spots or bait. Choosing golden spots builds observation and patience, setting you up for big catches. To level up, practice casting at the right depth, twitching in grass, or using heavier sinkers and eddies. Spend trips at ponds, lakes, or rivers, picking spots by water signs. I choose fresh baits, fatworms, live shrimp, stinky dough. In crowded areas, find a quiet corner to keep fish calm.
These details make you a spot-savvy angler.
Picking the right spot is an old-school secret few share. Trees, confluences, bridges, grass, deep pools. Itch is a fish haven if you work it right. 3 words. Spot, bait, timing. Every cast in the right spot with fish swarming and floats dancing feels like carrying on the old-timer's legacy. When the float dips slow, heart racing, hands gripping the rod, that's a moment only anglers get. Rookie or pro. These 5 spots will make you king of any fishing hole. That's it, folks. We've cracked the top 5 fishing spots packed with fish, from picking to casting to avoiding slip-ups. I hope you're pumped to try these golden spots. Smash that like, share with your fishing crew, and subscribe to Fishing 24 Hours for more killer tips. Got a story about a hotspot in America's lakes or rivers? Drop it in the comments. See 'em all ears. Tight lines, big catches. See you next time.